So I thought I'd talk for just a minute about this divorce that I'm going through, because I'm sure just like I found some relatable advice through here, other people might relate to me. So I was married for 10 years. I got married young. I was 21, barely, like 3 days, 21. Already had a baby. He was 8 weeks old at our wedding. And I remember feeling like my marriage was temporary from the beginning. Like that I wasn't gonna make it. And I didn't know what that feeling was. I just thought it was cold feet, but it kind of manifested itself for the next 10 years. And here we are 10 years later. So he didn't really start this process. I guess it was more so me, because I was always looking for someone else because I didn't know how to be loved or how to accept love from somebody. And so while he was fighting for me, I was pushing him away. But I never truly accepted happiness. I left the good guy. I left the guy that everybody looks at and is like, that's a dad, that's a husband, that's how it's supposed to be. He did the dishes, he cleaned the house, he took the kids to school, he worked all day, he made good money, he supported us. I mean, yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy.
Is that if they do those things, it still doesn't make us happy, and we're still pointing the finger and you're not doing it right, and well, I didn't mean it like that, and well, no, maybe that's not what I want. And it's just this total crazy making for good men.
So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy. Don't stay because he's the good guy. Leave because he's not the guy for you. Leave because you have to be happy. Because if you don't feel in love, then who cares if he's the good guy? And that is a harsh reality that I'm facing right now, and a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people. But it's okay to leave the good guy.
It is the height of selfishness to use intimate relationships as a means to find yourself, leaving behind broken and hurt feelings along the way. If you don't know who you are, don't seek a partner. You have a lot more work to do on yourself. Women who marry for the wrong reasons are certainly a problem, but I still can't understand the mentality of men who want to get married a year or two into dating either. It's like they're so afraid to lose the best girl they've ever had that they think putting a ring on it will secure the relationship. This woman got married at 21, but whose stupid idea was it to begin with? Modern women don't seem to understand that happily ever after is a fairy tale. There will be good times and rough times. You won't constantly be happy 24/7 for the rest of your life. That's why commitment is important. That's what gets you through the rough times. That's what the vows say. But the second the dopamine drops, modern women are out the door looking for their next source of dopamine. Anyone who's had a long-term marriage understands the good times and bad times. The easy, no-fault divorce and the lack of social stigma for breaking your vows has ruined modern marriage. Add the encouragement for greed and the entitlement being taught to modern women, and it's no wonder that men are walking away. Why would you risk all your finances and access to your children to be with someone who the femmes have taught to view you as a wallet and an enemy? Here's the brutal reality. The majority of women are not ready for the wall. Several women in their early 30s have successfully caught men's attention for over 20 years. The desire to date women in their prime has been and will continue to exist in males as young as their early 20s and as old as their 50s and 60s. Young ladies have received the attention they have always desired from men of all ages and social backgrounds who have shown them love and concern. Women peak at 18 and have that youthful fertility until 30. Men, however, reach their peak after their 30s and their worth continues to rise until their 50s. When a woman is in her 20s, she can often effortlessly draw the attention of men of any age. However, after the age of 30 to 35, when a woman's appearance begins to deteriorate, the attention of teenagers, 20-somethings, and even older men begins to wane as they begin to focus on younger women. Most men need a year or two to get to know a woman before becoming engaged and then getting married. As a result, if a guy marries a 35-year-old woman after going through this process, she won't give birth until she's 38, which will significantly reduce her odds of having children. A woman in her early to mid-30s must begin considering men in their late 30s, 40s, and perhaps even 50s as potential suitors. Many of these older men are now the only ones left on the market because they have already had children and marriages. If these men are divorced, they likely already have children and might want a second wife. And if women keep being stubborn about these realities of life, they should just sit back, relax, and enjoy their time with their cats. There is no hope for modern women. There just isn't any way to find a guy and build a relationship if you are online accepting criticism, judgment, and validation from other women. Serious women know the first rule of Fight Club: no matter what, don't share your relationship shit with other women. Don't ask single or divorced women for advice about anything. Dating is a nightmare for everyone these days. Too many options, no morals, and everything is about appearance and status. People give themselves a number on some arbitrary attractiveness scale and try to increase their sexual market value. No one cares about being a good or loving person. It's all about how others perceive you and your relationship, and everything must be captured for social media clout. It's not for me. My value is not tied to some scale or market value, or an alpha beta sigma thingy that no one can make sense of. And everyone thinks they're an alpha or something while saying others are cucks or simps or some rubbish. Boss babe or girl boss is all that matters to some women until they discover that none of it means a single damn thing at the end of the day. Personally, I'm not interested in dating or legally tying myself to another human, man or child, but if women are so sad and desperate, then they need to be honest about it and face their failings and stop demanding the universe but offering nothing in return. But dating isn't hard for women. Finding Prince Charming, Chad, Christian Grey, Mr. Perfect, the 6'4" ripped billionaire, that's what these women are complaining about. For any of these women who are saying they can't find a man, you could show them a room with 100 men who are willing to go out with them, and women would weed out every single one of them within a few minutes. The fact is that for the first time in human history, men have become truly independent. Never before have men been given the chance to pursue their goals and fulfillment, without the weight of a woman and children dragging them down and rooting them to the ground. Thank God for M2 and subsequent insane laws that kick at us all in the back hard if not careful and aware. The trend towards tolerating placarding, indulging and even advocating for weak, inferior, and even toxic mindsets and opinions in culture and especially in politics is what has led to men allowing for this sorry state of affairs in today's world. If more men would simply return to a more practical, disciplined approach to all aspects of life, the natural order of things in a healthy society would quickly fall back into place. There are women who will absolutely agree to this, and then there will be some who will totally deny this. Women in their 30s hit the wall. Their value in the scale of desirability drops by significant levels. However, many women deny this. They can't deny the laws of biology. Many women in their early 30s have more than 20 years of proven success catching men's attention. Men have and always will desire to date women in their prime, even when they are as young as their early 20s or as elderly as their 50s and 60s. Due to the fact that these 35-year-old ladies are still partying and clubbing as they did in their 20s, the few women who did have children are no longer accepted into this particular social circle. I find it revolting that women go to cougar clubs in an effort to meet 25-year-old males. Most of these 25-year-old males only worry about getting laid, which severely undermines the self-esteem of many women. However, they don't seem to give a damn. They want to continue the party for just a little bit longer before they reach middle age because they need the attention of young, handsome men. Many women experience the second wall in their early to mid-40s, and by that time, many have lost the capacity to entice even 20-year-old gentlemen who are only interested in physical intimacy. They typically begin gaining weight and enter menopause at that time. Asian and Black women age more slowly than white women, yet once they start to lose their beauty, many of them age rapidly. In the space of a few years, a 38 or 39-year-old Asian lady may transform from looking like she's 29 or 32 to looking as if she's in her early 40s. I may not be seeing the wall that appeared 10 years before she turned 40, since I am a white dude. If I'm incorrect, do let me know. This is simply my observation, and I'd be interested in learning more about this specific issue. Women often mature earlier than men do when they are teenagers, because they have historically had the reproductive advantage when it comes to passing on their genes. This is because, especially at times in our history when resources were scarce, the earlier women mature, the higher the prospects are for the survival of our species. They will, however, wither earlier as well, because they flower earlier. Men with money and resources are more likely to attract women, and smart men who put out the effort and save money will only become more alluring to women over time. Men, on the other hand, are drawn to women because of their capacity for reproduction. The aging process can be compared to a game of poker full of deception and other types of misdirection, where both sides are involved. For example, if a man and a woman were playing poker in their early 20s, the man starts with 1 chip and the woman has 90, but by the time they are 35, he has 85 of those chips and she has only 6. Your financial resources have a significant impact on your status and alternatives in real life, just like in poker. More women than men that I am aware of wasted their money rather than save it when they were young. They would go on trips, purchase shoes, have supper out a couple of times a week, and hang out a lot with their pals. When they are in their mid-30s, they would also spend a lot of money on makeup and cab fare. I've come across women who are deeply indebted from credit card debt and student loans and are searching for a wealthy man to bail them out. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.